Hello, I'm Steph McGovern and welcome to a new series of short films from BT, helping businesses to better understand the potential of emerging technologies. Today, we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, what it is exactly and how it could help your business. And with us to do that, we have Dr. Zoe Webster, who is AI Director at BT. Thanks very much for joining me. Can you just start off by just explaining simply what AI is?
Sure. So artificial intelligence is about developing machines that can undertake the kind of tasks that we'd normally associate with intelligence. Things like learning, planning and understanding human language.
Yeah. So how does it work?
Essentially what it's doing is looking through data to find significant features or patterns of interest that might allow us to learn from past data and be able to predict future events or behaviour. If you're buying a book online, for example, what the companies are often doing is taking data about what you've bought previously and using AI to predict what you might be interested in the future. So those will be the ones that you're recommended and that you hopefully will buy next.
So how would you sum up the benefits for business then?
I'd summarise them in two main ways. So one is around kind of internal facing, so looking within the business at the operations. AI can be used to look through the data that's being generated to see if there are ways to optimise operations. That could be very important for large companies, for example. There's a lot going on. For smaller companies, what it's really good for is to search through the data to find those underserved niches of customers. But actually, new products or slightly tailored products could be really helpful and could encourage sales from them.
The survey we did found that 30% of business leaders have never heard of AI. Do those figures surprise you?
It is an interesting finding, but actually lots of businesses are already using AI, whether they realise it or not. So anyone using a search engine or a recommendation engine is already using AI.
Oh, well, that's really interesting you say that, because another stat for you, 56% of business leaders don't think it's relevant, but that's probably because they don't realise they're actually using it already.
Well, it's true. And I think, it becomes very relevant when you've got lots and lots of data to play with, and not all businesses have that data. So once that data is available, AI probably will be relevant in some form.
So what do you think then are the barriers to businesses understanding or realising that this can transform their business?
I think it's having access to that data. It's also having the skills to develop and harness AI effectively. And also connectivity. Obviously, you need that connectivity to get the data from where it is to where you need it to be to use the AI in the first place. And that's where BT can help.
Yeah. Is it right then for every business?
I'm not sure it's right for every business challenge. So I think a business, whatever size or shape it is, needs to look at its own business challenges. And where data does have a role to play, then AI should be considered as one of the potential solutions.
Yeah. Do you have any examples then of where you've seen it being used really well?
I think a couple of examples. One, when large law firms are turning to AI to be able to retrieve information from large legal texts where that's quite complicated. And there are lots of documents to sift through. A small company I know is actually using AI really effectively to automatically remove information from CVs to reduce the likelihood of bias coming out in recruitment.
Yeah, and it's used a lot in retail now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for recommending clothes that we might want to buy based on our previous purchases or our preferences.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like they've seen into your brain of what you might like, but that's what it is, really, isn't it? So if there are business owners, leaders watching now who are thinking, I want to bring this into the business, but I've got no idea where to start, what would your advice be?
Don't bring AI into the business for its own sake. Really kind of focus on what the business opportunities and challenges are and think about the role of data in addressing those. Where you do need insight from data, then AI may have a very strong role to play.
Zoe, thank you very much. Fascinating. It's such an interesting topic. And in fact, if you want to know more about AI or any of the other emerging technologies, then do click on the links. Thanks.